So, I'm just doing this real quick to end my live properly because my phone just freaking died on me. So I couldn't even. Oh my gosh! Like what the heck? My phone is not charging. I don't know why I have it plugged up, but it's not charging properly. So it just died on me even though I had it plugged up. So sorry. Have Florida Fox. Um, yeah. So I'm just gonna wrap up what I was talking about here. So those of you who just the freaking feed just dropped out on y'all, hi Mix again. So you will have like a conclusion to what we were doing already. But anyway, I was trying to say, I was explaining about the hair quality, about the Disney store dolls. I mean, not the Disney store dolls, the Mattel dolls that are depicting Disney characters. Hi, Inkpad. Yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on with the stream that I was already doing, but my phone just completely died on me. I have it plugged up, but I don't know why. I don't know what is going on. Is it the I don't know if it's my outlet, if it's my cord. I don't know what it is, but it's just not charging my phone right now, so I give up. So I'm just using my backup phone real quick. That's charged up really good. Oh darn it, you guys can't hear me? Yikes. Hold on, let me see. I swear. Technology is so annoying. Oops, hold on a second. Let me see if I can um how do you how do you put stuff yeah, okay. Okay, that's great. Now what? It's annoying. I can't even put messages in my own thing. Jeez. How do I do this? I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. Oh, darn it. I'm about to break it. Now, you know what I need to do? I need to get my mic. That's what I need. Hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, now, can you guys hear me? I sure hope so, because technology is annoying. Let's see. Okay, tell me if you guys can hear me, and then I'll finish up what I was saying. Sounds like Kanekalon, a lot of dolls from the 90s to the early 2000s have it. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Their hair texture is very soft and lightweight, but depending on the grade of Kanekalon, it can be very high maintenance. Yeah, Janine, I think you're right. I think that's what it is. It's Kanekalon hair. Mix, which is your favorite doll that I own or that exists? That sucks when the battery is not charging my phone properly. Like all this time since my last feed got interrupted, I've had this phone on the charger and it's at 2%. Look at this mess. 2%. What in the heezy is going on? Jeez. Um, yeah, so I'm using Adonis's phone for a second so I can finish up what I was saying because I got freaking interrupted. Thank you, technology, for being so reliable. You're amazing. So yeah, so that hair texture, that's one of the textures that I tolerate in my dolls. I'm not gonna like not want a doll because she has that hair texture if the doll I really like. But like the Hasbro kind of hair, ooh, I don't like it at all. I don't like the Disney store doll hair either. I'll tolerate that hair too, but I don't really like it because over time it will start to get bushy and kind of like stick together, like clumpy and matted, and it's really not that great as far as trying to like keep it detangled all the time, especially if you handle the hair all the time. It's very annoying. So to me that takes away from the doll because I want to be able to handle the doll. I want to interact with the doll. I want to change the doll when I feel like it. Sometimes I'll just leave the doll, alone hair wise, but I still want the option of being able to change it. The reason why I don't mess with my doll's hair too much unless I'm like filming it for something is because like on my shelf, a lot of my dolls, their hair is just left alone. I just leave it down. I'll just brush it and make it neat. But for the most part, I just leave it down because I don't like for my doll's hair to have indents in them, like this one. When I take her hair down from this style that it's in, you already know, it's going to have the curl texture in her hair. So it's going to take a while for the hair to go back to its usual straight state like this, because the hair will just be kind of like molded into whatever style you had the hair in. For example, if you tie your hair up into a bun, if you make braids, when you take that stuff out, the hair has that texture kind of embedded into it. So you have to manipulate the hair in order for it to go back to the way that it was. And I don't like to do that because I've been taking too long. So that's one of the reasons why I don't mess with my doll's hair when it's just on the shelf. I don't really style them. But like if I'm filming, if I'm making a skit, if I'm just taking pictures, like photographs of the doll to upload someplace, that's when I'll style the doll's hair and actually do something with it. And I want to be able to do that without fighting with the doll's hair. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be limited in what I can do with the hair because it's just not sitting right. It's not behaving. You know, I don't want to do that. Like this hair, we put it in the hot water. It's not all the way dry yet, so there's still a little bit of stiffness because the water is making it kind of like, you know, it's making it stiff. But once it dries, it's going to be like this. It's going to be this kind of texture and way more manageable, and it's not going to be flying all over the place, and that's what I'm going for. That's what I want. So if I wanted to style her hair, I can. It should behave, you know, but I don't want to be fighting with this doll's hair when I done spent real life money on it. They not free. We spending real money on these dolls, and we're trying to do what we're trying to do with them, right? So that's just my opinion when it comes to that. Let's see. It says, I can hear you, but it sounds muffled, but I don't know about it either. Yeah, because I have to plug in a mic in order to use this particular device that I'm on, because the sound on this thing is weird. Let's see. Oh, you said I don't care about it. Unfortunately, you plug in phone batteries while in use will shorten the battery life. At least you have a backup. Yeah, and you know, my phone, it normally charges really fast, really good, very lightning. I think it's the outlet that I'm using. It's either the outlet or this cord, although I use this cord all the time. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't understand how electricity works. I don't understand how technology works. I just don't get it. So to me, if I plug you in, you should just work. Like, that's how I look at it. And I never have a problem with this phone charging up. I always have this phone on a charger while we're doing live streams, not just here on Instagram, on TikTok, and I never have a problem. I really think it's just the setup that I have today, but that's okay because I went over my time anyway. Like, even if I hadn't plugged my phone up, by the time it died, I should have already ended my life. So that's what I get for always being over my time. But that's you guys' fault. I blame y'all. You guys know I'm horrible at managing my time. You should be like, okay, Gypsy, well, that's it. We've already been hanging out for an hour, so we'll see you next time. That's what you should be doing. You guys are bad influence. What the heck? Ah, goodness. If we were kids, my mommy would not let me play with you guys. Goodness. Anyway, so, yeah, that's y'all fault. But I get over it. So anyway, so that's what I wanted to talk about. So that was the conclusion of my rant on the Disney dolls. I really hope that Mattel steps their game up and reels us adults back in, because we are really their target audience when it comes to this Disney stuff. As far as the classic princesses go, not the newer stuff, of course, because, like, who cares? But the classic stuff, come on, they already know. We're already in our 30s and 40s, and those are the demographic they should be catering to when it comes to those dolls. They should make them a little bit more versatile, a little bit more appealing to an adult collector or an older collector, because the kids are going to like it anyway. Like, you can't go wrong having that quality, because children will still like it anyway. They'll still play with it. They'll still do whatever they're going to do with it. And it will justify the price point if they end up trying to sell those dolls for more than $10 a piece. It will make sense for people to buy them because, well, look what we're getting for more than $10 a piece. You know what I'm saying? They know what it is, but the reality of it is they're a company, like I always be talking about. They're a company. They're trying to make money. They don't really care about their customers. It's not all like that. They don't care. Like, they're not over there like, oh, yeah, we have to really cater to these collecting people because they're just so important. They don't care. They just want the money. That's all. So whatever they can do to get the money without having to do too much extra work, that's what they're going for. Okay? I like this dress on her. It's very long, which is great because she's tall. And see, she's still got a little bit of room so you can see her shoes. And it seems like it fits her nicely. And the colors look good on her skin, although I honestly haven't seen this doll wear anything, any color that look like it don't look right on her. The deep, dark skin tone that she has, just, it's like a clean slate. It's like a black background. Everything looks good with black. So, like, seriously, like, this doll, I haven't seen her in nothing that I was like, whatever. Colors wise, I'm not saying style wise. Style wise, I don't think you can just put anything on these dolls and it'll look good. No, like, she gotta be wearing something that looks good on her. But colors, you can get away with almost any kind of colors on this skin tone because it just looks amazing with any colors, bright colors, dark colors. You can really go in and get creative with that skin tone. It's beautiful. And I know a girl who has a deep, deep skin tone like that, and she's so, to me, she's so pretty. Like, I love the way her skin looks. It just looks so flawless. And I noticed when I was watching one of my streams the last time, like, on camera, it looks so difficult to tell the difference between her and his skin tone. But they are different. They're different. She's a good 1 or 2 shades darker than him. So, like, here next to each other on camera, they look so close in color, but I promise you in real life, no, this doll is very, very dark compared to him. Let's see. I see some messages. This is what I'm talking about. Data thread sorceress. The phone shouldn't determine your live stream time. It needs to be pushed to the limits. What a good influence you are on me trying to manage my time better. Mix said Barbie quality is not that good anymore. Mattel needs to step up their quality. Yeah, just in general, they really do. BMR clothes would make her look bad. Yeah, I know, right? It's the cut of those clothes. It's just like, it's too baggy. Like, it's just too much going on. Too many shapes going on. Honestly, the BMR dolls, like, honestly, if they came naked, I would have just bought them like that. Because the clothes, I understand where he was trying to go with it. This is the thing. Okay, so Carlisle is an actual fashion designer, right? He just happens to work for a company where all of his fashions are going on plastic little tiny people instead of real people, right? So when he did that line, in his head, what he was trying to do was, if I were a fashion designer that was making clothes for real people, and I had this line, what would the look be for this line? So that's what he was going for with the BMR line. He dressed all the dolls in such a way that it looked like actual fashions that he envisioned he would be making for people to wear in real life, right? That was what he was going for. However, the styles, they look very, like, to me, they remind me a little bit of, not necessarily the color schemes, but the style of the clothing remind me of, like, cross colors. Like, you know, back in the day, late 80s, 90s hip-hop fashion, that's what I was thinking of when I saw the clothes. So, for back then, I mean, that was, I guess, cute. That was the style. But, like, nowadays, it's a little bit kind of, I don't really see how people are taking pieces like that and working them into their everyday looks right now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was kind of like hit or miss with the clothing, but the dolls themselves were fire, and I totally have no complaints about the actual dolls. I liked almost all of them. Maybe 1 or 2 I feel like could have used a little bit more, kind of, just, I don't know. They seemed like they needed a little bit more development, but the majority of the line was amazing. So he did his damn thing with it, and that quality I'm okay with. I feel like that's decent, you know? And then I think Barbie looks kind of stepped it up even more to make it more modern, because the clothes that come with the Barbie looks dolls, which is, this is one of them, this dress that she's got on. That's one. And then these pieces are also Barbie Looks pieces. They didn't come on the same doll, but they're pieces that came from that line. And this thing that my donor body had on earlier. These styles are very modern. It's very modern, even if they came in a different color scheme. If they were gold, if they were all black, if they were all white, if they were yellow, they would work because the style of the clothing just looks right with the modern aesthetic of how people dress now. So that's why I say it's a bit of a step up from the BMR collection. But I did like the BMR collection just in general. Did you see the new Mattel Disney dolls? Yeah, Florida Fox. That's what we were talking about earlier about the Disney dolls. And yes, your emojis definitely reflect my reaction. Fubu, I have a feeling that they will be reflected in doll fashion. That's a data thread sorcerer talking about Fubu clothes. And is he the same skin tone as the wheelchair Barbie in rainbow dress? This guy, he's not. He's the same darkness, but not the same skin tone. Like, that doll has more of a red undertone. He's almost the exact same color as, for Made to Move body comparison, he's the same color as the hiker Barbie and the yoga fashionistas doll with the lavender floral pants. She's got like copper colored hair. Yeah, they're the same skin tone. Where did you get the girl in the silver shirt, dark hair, looking to the side? Okay, so hi, Jill Jameson. Welcome back. This is Lunar New Year Barbie. Janine probably knows because I don't remember. I'm bad with dates. But I want to say she's 2021 because there's more than one Lunar New Year doll. I want to say she's either 2020 or 2021, one or the other, for the year. And obviously she wasn't wearing this when I got her. She didn't have a Made to Move body. I believe that she had, I think she had joints. I think originally she had joints, but don't quote me on that because I can't really remember off the top of my head because she's not on her original body. I gave her a new body, so I don't know. I can't remember, you guys. Tell me if somebody remembers. Let's see. Yeah, see, how did I know Janine was gonna know? Model, she's got a model muse body. Okay, and yeah, 2020 is the Lunar New Year that this particular one is, and her face sculpt is called Mari, for anybody who's wondering, M-A-R-I. She's really, I feel like this doll is very, like, underappreciated. And this sculpt is not a sculpt that you see every day on dolls, especially Playline dolls, because it's an older sculpt. It's kind of like a throwback sculpt, like from, like, I want to say the 90s era was the more widely used. So you don't see the sculpt a whole lot. And I think for like a modern day doll, when they do the faces from the old sculpts that they used to use, it's very important for them to not look old-fashioned in the modern era. Like, if that makes sense. Like the screening back in the day, like in the 90s, they used to make these big giant eyes that were like so many colors in the eyes, and you know, it was just very bright and like loud looking. That just, it's just not gonna look right to blend in with a modern collection now when the dolls look like that. But these, it's like they revived this old sculpt but made her blend in with the newer dolls, the way that the screening looks. It's not too, she don't have like a whole lot of makeup on her face. She doesn't have a bunch of eyeshadow. She doesn't have glitter. She doesn't have some sculpted eyebrows. She just has red lipstick. Very simple. And that's it. That's all she's got going on. Some eyelashes. So it's a very simple look, but it works, and I think she blends in really good with the rest of my collection. And I love her side glance, because I feel like the side glancing dolls, they just add a lot of character and dimension to the doll's look when they're looking off to the side like that. I think it's cute. So I like her just the way that she is. And obviously, if she came with the model muse body, then no wonder, of course, I rebodied her, because I ain't trying to be doing all of that with the model muse body. I like the way model muse body looks, but I need joints. I need to be able to pose my dolls. Okay, Tevin, when my live ended from the last one, because my phone died, you had said something that I couldn't get to. I didn't get to the comment that you had left. So just remind me if you remember what you were saying, because I wanted to see what you were saying. The old Complexion Barbie is not that great. It's constantly dry and sheds a lot. Yeah, you're right, Tevin. That's why I don't like that hair texture. It's, ugh. but I'll tolerate it. You know, if the doll that has that hair is decent, I'll tolerate that hair texture, but it's kind of subpar. I want to get Lunar New Year doll exclusive to Korea, right? No, it's not. It's not exclusive to Korea. The Lunar New Year doll actually is. I want to say she's dressed in Chinese clothing, and a lot of times when you see anything having to do with the Lunar New Year, most of the cultural representation is with Chinese culture. A lot of times, because I think just Chinese culture is the most recognizable when it comes to Asian culture for people who aren't from Asia. So, you know, if you're from Asia, China's not everything. Like, you know, China is not everything. There's all these other little small countries around you that you can pull from to get ideas and style and culture and stuff from. But when you're not from Asia, at least here in the West, the biggest representation for Asian culture is usually Chinese. So you're going to see a lot of the dolls that are supposed to be representing just Asia in general. They're going to be depicted with Chinese styles because that's what people are most familiar with around here. So she actually was wearing a dress that was, I think it was supposed to be a Chinese style dress. And I think her box had like Chinese writing on it. Bye, Ink Pad. Great live. See you on the flip side. Night, everybody. Yeah, see you later. Thank you for stopping and hanging out with us. Mari face sculpt looks like she's letting out a fart. You're hilarious. She looked like, I'm sure nobody heard it. Don't look at me. That's so funny. Now that you said that, every time I look at her, I'm gonna be like, she thinks she's slick. You're like, y'all smell that? She like, if you smelled it, you dumped it. Yo. Janine said, the lifestyle guy, yes. Tevin, yes, the 90s Barbie especially. However, I have some Barbies from the 2000s with Kanekalon, and it's like the best. Particularly my fashion party teen Courtney and Nikki dolls. Florida Fox Hill was a face sculpt of Barbie Extra number 9. Numero 9. Which one is number 9, you guys? I'm getting numbers all mixed up. Hold on. Hold up. Let me see. Hold up. Wait a minute. No, it's not that one. It's this one. Number 9. This one? Heidi. Heidi is the name of this one. The sculpt, I mean. Nola's Dolls and Aquatics. What up? What's poppin'? What's crackety lackin'? Asking about that. There was 2 Lunar New Year dolls released last year, and one was exclusive to a certain country. You mean like where they sold it at? Is that what you're saying? Like only certain countries had the doll for sale? Is that what you're asking me? Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, I have no idea because I did not know that. I had no idea. And why would they do that? That's kind of stupid. Why would you make it exclusive to only one country? And it ain't America? I don't know about all that now. Now, let me show you guys real quick. This is her. Hold on. I hope it shows up on camera. Oh, here we go with the glare. This right here. I'm trying to get it just right. Maybe it's too bright. Let's see. Let's turn it down some. How about that? Will that work? A little bit. Yeah, that's the Lunar New Year doll that I have. That's the clothes that she came with. And that's how she looked. Right? And then there is una más. Let's see. What year is this one? This one is 2021 maybe? I don't know. No sé. But I don't have this one. Is she also a Mari? Let me see. Oh, she looks like she's a Mari sculpt too. Here's the other one. This is the one that came out after I got mine. So if mine was 2020, then this one must be 2021? Or is she 22? Who knows? I don't know. But it's hard to see in here. But it kind of is trying to focus, but I don't know what to focus on. Y'all don't know how these stupid cameras are. But anyway, but that's a close-up of her. Yeah, they're the same sculpt. So this is also a Mari sculpt. But her hairstyle is completely different. And obviously the clothes are different. Honestly, though, I don't like that one better. I don't like her better. I don't feel like I missed anything because I didn't purchase this one. And she's kind of pricey, right? Am I wrong? She's kind of pricey, right? I think she's kind of pricey. But I also see that they had another one. Where's the other one? Hang on. Let me see if I can find the other one. This one right here. Yeah, this one. Her outfit looks more like a... It looks more similar to like a hanbok style dress, like Korean style dress. But it's not quite a hanbok. I think this is also a Chinese style dress. It just looks more similar to a hanbok than the other ones do. And this one has a different sculpt. Her face looks like Leah. Is she a Leah? She looks like a Leah sculpt. Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. But to me, she looks like she's Leah. And we were just talking about this yesterday, I think, or in my last live. I think that was yesterday, right? We were talking about how Leah just looks kind of bland and like boring a lot of times. This one doesn't look that bad, but I wish I could focus so we could take a better look. Gee whiz, Liz. Hang on now. Maybe I can get it to focus. Focus, man. I don't know. But whatever the case is, to me, this one looks a little bit better as far as the face. Camera, why? Okay, that's a little better. Yeah, this one looks a little bit better as far as the face up for the Leah sculpt. She doesn't look as boring and bland, but I mean, it's still not enough for me to feel like I need to have this doll in my collection. I do like her clothes. It's very pretty, and she looks cool. Like, I think she looks really cool, but I don't like her better than the one that I have. I just don't. And I feel like Leah, I don't know. These dolls are supposed to be signature dolls. They're collectible dolls. Just, they can do better with the face sculpts. They can come up with a better sculpt to use. Like, if they had did that same doll with Kit, now I might have to consider getting it. You know what I'm saying? And y'all coming up with all these brand new sculpts. Like, come on, use them. Put them to use. Mattel, what are you doing? What is y'all doing? Who works over there? Like, we need to find out who works there, because they just be doing the most. Like, y'all doing the most while doing the least. I don't understand. Let's see. Jill James, damn, I have to go. I can't have doll talk with my phone. My phone is getting blown up. I'll have to catch you later or next time. Yeah, that's what's up. And when this thing is over, you can come back and watch it later. If you can't, if you can't interact in the moment, it'll be up there for you guys to watch later. Skip through the parts that you missed. If you're talking about Barbie Extra, it's Dimples. The couple Ken is like, I know you did it. She has a pet crocodile. Janine said, I think she's talking about the Guopei Lunar New Year, but it is on Mattel Cringe for $80 freaking dollars. Why? What you think of the Barbie movie? And Mattel will likely make a doll. They better make a doll, because why they got all this Barbie stuff going on and they not making no dolls for it? They already are gonna make a doll. I already know, because they're not gonna let these people use their name Barbie without trying to merchandise as much as possible, every and anything they can off of that. My whole thing is, though, if you are gonna make Barbie dolls, first of all, I hope they use the actual actors' likenesses and not just some generic random face sculpts that are plain line sculpts. Just use a regular Ken face, regular Barbie Melly face, and then try to be like, hey, look guys, these are the dolls from the movies. No, they're not. So I hope that's not what happens. I hope they actually use the actors' faces as the base for the sculpts. Whatever they look like, it won't matter if they look like those actors, because the actors are good looking. So even if the clothes are just so, even if the hair doesn't look all beautiful and styled, if it's Saran hair, it's rooted hair, and they have any kind of clothes on, I think they'll be okay, because people like us will just get them and then Frankenstein them and then make them how we want them to look. So for the head sculpts alone, I think they will be a hit. Also, I would hope that the fashions that the dolls are dressed in are going to be the best of the fashions from the movie and not just the basic look. Also, if they're smart, they will put them on some jointed bodies. Now, in my dreams, I would like for them to be on MTM bodies already, because I already know if they're making dolls out of these characters from a movie, the price is gonna be up there. It's not gonna be no $20 doll. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna probably start at like $40 to like $60. So if I'm spending that kind of money on these dolls, you better come with some joints. I'm sorry, you best come with some joints. I hope that they're MTM joints, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for that. So as long as they have any kind of standard articulation, I'll be satisfied with it, and I would get them. Look up Lunar New Year Barbie. Okay. I sent you a picture on Instagram. Okay. I might need to clean the camera lens. I may need to do that because this is Adonis's phone. I'm very unfamiliar with his device because I don't handle it every day. And I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing with his phone. Let me see here real quick. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yep. Yeah, I don't know if that doll is exclusive to anywhere except for on Mattel's website, maybe. Let's see how much they're selling her for. Yeah, we already said that. The Leah sculpt is exclusive to Asian regions. Oh, okay. Hi, Candace. How are you? Asking how is the family doing. My family is doing pretty good considering things that are going on around here. My husband got into a car accident like about a month ago, which completely totaled our car. So that's like our biggest crisis recently that we're still wading through. The insurance people, they're supposed to, they're supposed to pay for your property damage, which they did, but the money went to the bank because our car was financed when it was when it got into the accident. So like all the money that's supposed to go towards the car went to those people. But that's okay because now that debt is paid off, so I don't gotta worry about it. But I still need to replace my car. Hello. So we did get another car, but the car that we have now, it's a good car. I just need to do a little bit of work to it, and then it'll be perfect. So we'll see how that goes, but it is what it is. That's life. Things just happen. Thank God that he walked away from that accident, because really scary. I mean, the car got totaled, so you can imagine. Thank God that he wasn't hurt badly, and he's not, I don't think that he's showing any distress, even though I'm sure in his mind he's feeling it, but he's not showing it. He's not letting it affect his actions, I guess. So I don't know. I don't know if he's just pretending for us so he can seem like he's strong and not get us all worried and be anxious, because I'm like kind of an anxious person, and he don't like for me to be like that because then I'll make him anxious. So sometimes he'll just kind of like bury things when things are bothering him, but I don't know for sure what's going on with him as far as like mentally, but he seems okay. So I'm grateful that he's still here and he didn't have to be hospitalized. He didn't break anything. He's okay. Do you think that the Odile is a new Millie? If so, when will we start getting them? Good question, Florida Fox. No, I don't think that they're going to use her as the new Millie, although we all wish that they would, because how awesome would that be? I don't think so. Another candidate I thought would be a good Millie stand-in. I was just thinking about it last night. Which doll was it? Goodness, which doll was it that I was thinking of? Oh, I was thinking of one of the Barbie Looks dolls. Really? I mean, it's a toothbrush. I use a toothbrush for their hair. If you look at really any of the females in that line that have the lighter complexion skin tones, like Victoria, even Lena, I thought any of those would work. Yeah, Andra, I think any of those with blonde hair and blue eyes and the default skin tone, I really think any of those could work as new Barbie sculpts, and they wouldn't be tiring for people to see them over and over again. I've seen people on Instagram post their re-roots of Lena with blonde hair. And she looks so good with blonde hair. Like, I was really surprised at how good she looks with the blonde hair. I like it. So, I don't know. I think any of those would also work for a Barbie stand-in. It would just be like Barbie would look a little bit more mature. She wouldn't look so childish. But I'm not complaining about that. And I don't think the kids would. I don't think the kids care, to be honest. As long as the doll does what a doll is supposed to do, I really don't think they care. We don't need any more Millie Barbies. Yeah, Nola, I agree with you. It's like, enough is enough. But I don't know exactly how. How do we get Mattel to switch? Like, what has to happen for them to do that, you know? I don't know. But I wish I did know, because whatever that process is, we need to get it started. Okay, we need to get that on a roll. Will they do brown eyes and blonde hair? Sometimes they do brown eyes for the Barbie, but not often. And usually when they do, it's not supposed to be Barbie's usual character. It's like they'll use that sculpt, but then they'll change how the doll looks a little bit to be a different character. So I've seen them do that, though. They have given her brown eyes sometimes, but
How much battery is your phone on?
not enough for me to unplug it. Get a brick and you can put it in here if you need to, but then you can't use it if it's over here. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know, but it's definitely something that's been a discussion topic for a little while now. People are just tired of Millie, and like, I don't blame them. And that's the thing. I think like people thought that I didn't like Millie because she was white, and I'm like, bruh, I don't have a problem with white dolls. I don't care. I don't care what skin tone the doll has. I don't care what nationality she's supposed to represent. I don't care what race she's supposed to look like. I don't care about that. I care about, do you look good? Do you look pretty? Do you look nice? Do you look presentable? Do you look lovely? Can I look at your face over and over again and not get sick and tired of it? That's what I care about. If you're not in that category, well, then you're not good enough. I don't want to look at you. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And I was just sick and tired of Millie because she's all over the place and she just has a really goofy face. And back then, when I was like openly talking about how much I didn't like the Millie sculpt, it was when they were heavy duty using the open mouth sculpt, which is like the one that I hate the most. I don't mind closed mouth Millie as much. The closed mouth Millie is the one that you guys saw in the BMR 1959 series that has, I think she's on a tall body with curly hair. She's a closed mouth Millie, and those don't get on my nerves as much, but they also don't use that sculpt that much, you know? Once in a blue moon, they'll use that one, but for the most part, they always giving us that goofy, big mouth one, and I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. She just looked like, I don't know, she just looked overly excited about everything, and it's like, really? You would be overly excited, Barbie, because you got everything. Of course you're happy all the time. Your house is the mall, so like, duh. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, it just gets so like annoying after a while. So that's why I don't like it. But I don't have a problem with her because she's white. Like, I have white doll. Look, I just bought another one. You just saw me like spruce her up so that she can fit into my collection. I can do something with the damn doll. So you can't say, oh, Gypsy just doesn't like white dolls. She just doesn't like dolls with blonde hair because she doesn't like white people. That's not true. That's not true at all. This one, she's one of my favorite dolls in my collection. I call her Marley. And I named her after a different doll of mine that I was calling Marley, but I think I got rid of that doll. I don't know why. But anyways, my original Marley was the first ever curvy Barbie that had came out, the Fashionistas one, the very first one. Remember her with the curvy Carl face, blonde hair? No, that's not Marley. That was Chi-Chi. But I don't have that doll either. What happened to that doll? What did I do with that doll? No, Marley was the one that I had to have brown hair, but it had that same sculpt. She had brown hair and she was a Fashionistas doll, and I think my Marley was from like a Fashionistas deluxe pack or something. I can't really remember. But anyway, she was a curvy girl, and I don't have her anymore because I think I might have sold her. I think I sold her. So she ain't in my collection no more. But this one is like, she's so pretty. Oh yeah, of course she's pretty because she looks like Gigi Hadid, and Gigi Hadid is actually pretty in real life. But I'm saying, like, bruh, like, this face is just, ugh. Hi, how you doing? How you's doing? And she looks white, but she's not really supposed to be white. I guess the girl, Gigi Hadid, is not white. She's mixed with, I want to say, part Palestinian and something else. So she's mixed, but she looks like a white person when she's, you know, done up that way, I guess, depending on what she's wearing. So this doll just looks like she's Caucasian because she looks like the real girl. But either way, I mean, even if she didn't have white features, it doesn't matter. I just like the way that she looks. I just like her bone structure. I like her face sculpt. I like her hair. I like how she looks. I don't mind that she has a light complexion. I don't care about any of that stuff. So it is what it is. I just care about your beauty. That's all. Is you fly or is you not fly? That's all I care about. Tevin said the 80s, 90s midge sculpt is good too. They are. Those are good sculpts. And hey y'all, yes, that's a beautiful doll. I love mine. Hi, Mandy's doll couture. How you doing? Yeah, it is what it is. So anyways, if you guys have more questions, if you have any questions about this one, let me know. And earlier I was showing you guys her body so you could see how it looks and how totally stiff it is. The Star Doll's bodies, they have almost no articulation. They can't bend their legs, even though it's a separate piece that's going into this torso. See that little crease there? There's a joint there, but it's not really a joint. There's no moving joint. It's just, you know, that's where the leg parts fit in. So you can't move the body. It's so annoying. And then when you see them online on like eBay, because they're discontinued dolls, now if you try to get one of those, especially new in box, you're gonna pay at least $50 before shipping and handling is factored in. They're kind of up there in price for you basically just getting like a stiff doll who you're probably going to end up having to rebody. And the clothes maybe that they come with, you might be able to use that. But like other than that, you're just buying the head really. So you have to be kind of calculating and strategizing whether or not you want to add those dolls to your collection when you see them. But this particular one that I found, these two are also Star dolls. So these three right here are Star dolls. And, you know, if you kind of look at them, they do all kind of look alike, don't they? It's not exactly the same sculpts, but they look very similar to each other. Guys, are these two the same sculpts? Why do they look so much alike? Hold on a second. Hold up. Also, what are the names of the sculpts of these dolls? Because I've never seen them repeated on any other dolls. And so I don't even know if they have official names, I wonder. Mandy said, I'm doing great. Sure missing you here in North Carolina. I know, right? Yo, Mandy, I was just thinking about you the other day. For real. I was just thinking about you the other day, you guys. What was it that reminded me? Something reminded me of you. And I was like, I wonder what Mandy's up to. I haven't heard from her in a while. And my phone number changed. So I don't know who I sent my new number to and who I didn't. I don't know. Find me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is Broken Dolly TV for those of you who are not following me on Instagram if you want to find me. But yeah, look at these freaking faces. Don't they look very similar? Like, bro, I think it's the same sculpt. Are these the same sculpt? Oh, snap. I think these are the same sculpt. They are the same sculpt. Because now when I'm looking at it, yeah, because when I closed her mouth, this one, her teeth were just like this. They were just a tiny little sliver. Wow, I think it's the same. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I never realized that. Okay, then. I'm okay with that. That's pretty cool. She's got a pretty face. I like the face. And I guess this is like a blonde version of that same sculpt. Guys, I'm not bugging, right? Don't they look just like each other? I'm sitting here like, are y'all sisters? Why y'all look alike? I swear they look just like each other. One just has brown eyes and one has blue eyes. But everything else on their face look identical. The nose shape looks the same to me. The lips look exactly the same. The chin, the way that the chin is shaped, very, 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 very similar. This one is a different sculpt though. But she looks a lot like them too. She does look very similar. Like her lips are a little bit different. Her nose shape is different. And her face shape is slightly different, but somehow they still look similar. So, that's interesting. I love faces. Faces are so much fun. Yeah, so Mandy, going back to what I was saying about the family, we're all great here. Washington State is amazing, but I do miss North Carolina so much. Like, I miss the weather, and especially there in the coastal region, and I miss our house. Remember when you came over? Like, our house was like a lot of space there, and it was so much room for me to do everything I needed to do with my dolls. I miss that space, but here, absolutely not even close. It's like a third. No, I'm lying. It's not no third. I feel like it's a quarter of the space that we had over there, and that really puts a big limit on what I can do with my dolls. So I'm just always have this like stifled feeling 24 hours a day where I'm like, oh, I wish I could do this. Oh, I need to make that. Oh, I want to try that. Oh, I want to build this. But I have to like suppress it. I have to push it down because I don't have the space for any of it. I don't have a space to store it. I don't have the space to craft it. I don't have the space to, I don't have the space. I just don't have the space to have that much freedom creativity wise. Oh, goodness. And then the price, like what we were paying for that house per month was like half of what we're paying here for way less space. It's outrageous. I cannot believe it. But as far as making money, I think there's more opportunities here to make money. So even though it's more expensive, we've been staying afloat for the time that we've been out here. So that's the big difference. But I mean, I don't regret coming here. I just really, really miss that house and the weather and the laid backness of the culture there. I do miss that. But the good thing about being out here is that people are a little bit more outgoing here. They're a little bit more open-minded here. Like, me and you probably the only doll collectors in that whole region and that could interact in person. But here there's like so many people. There's so much people here, so much diversity here with the people, and they're friendly. The people here are really friendly. I've made so many friends since we've been living here. And me and Adonis, like, we're the same everywhere we go. We're the same as far as our openness to people and, like, letting people into our world. We're not one of these people that are, like, scared of everyone. Oh, what if he's a psycho? Oh, what if she's crazy? What if that's a serial killer? We don't look at people like that. You know what I'm saying? So we're open always to making new friends. And, like, in Carolina, it's harder to do that in that area because everybody's so used to what they're used to. They don't really know how to make new friends, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to, like, it's a long, drawn-out process, like, creating a social circle for yourself. But here, almost instantly, like, soon as we came out here, just a legion of people just gravitating to us, you know? So that's a huge plus for us because the kind of personalities we have, like, we thrive in that kind of environment. And that's how it feels here. It's not just for us, like, even with the kids. My son has so many friends in Carolina. I feel like he barely talked to the kids in his own on our street that were our next door neighbors, you know? I know all my neighbors here. Like, I know all my neighbors. My kids have a lot of friends, and my friends that have children, they'll bring their kids over to hang out with my kids, and then we'll be just like chilling together. I don't know. It's just like socially a lot more fun here, I think. But every place comes with their pros and their cons, you know. But if I could choose any place to go back to that I had already lived in previously, because I've lived in a lot of different states, number one choice on my list, honestly, would be Carolina. I really would. And I would recommend anybody who's like from the north, if you're looking for a place to go that you can kind of start over and you don't have to struggle while you're doing it, I highly suggest, if you have a vehicle, go to North Carolina, because as long as you have a car to get yourself around, it's a very laid back atmosphere where you can kind of start over again and be all right, you know. Crossing season, Janine said, I don't think they have original names besides their being star dolls, but I will try to research it. Oh, that'd be cool. If you do find out anything, then let us know. Mandy said, I have one star doll and it makes me want to put her on a body. I just have her head. Oh, you should. I think you should. I think you'll love her on a body with some joints and moving around. Janine said, they're the same sculpts but with lip variations. Who, these two or these two? These two look very similar. Oh, wait, you know what, though? Maybe they're not. Hold on. Janine, I tell you, Janine, you are something else. Janine, do you have Asperger's? It does look like her lips are smaller. Evie, with the red hair, she looks like her lips are narrower. Like, it's smaller this way from the side. And this one looks wider. But I wonder if that's just the way that the makeup is painted, maybe? Like, did they put the makeup so that it's kind of bleeding out? Or is that because of the sculpt itself is actually different? I wonder. They do look kind of like one is a little bit less wide. But other than that, they look so much alike. So you got a good eye for detail, bro. Janine, you should go get evaluated. I'm just saying. Sound like you got some superpowers up in here. Nola, I've always liked the Steffi. Steffi's a really good mold. And Steffi is a good example of what I was talking about when I was telling you guys how Mari, like, I like this one because the face up they use, even though it's an old sculpt, it looks new. It looks like a new face up, right? It blends in good with modern day dolls. And Steffi is one of those sculpts that's very versatile. You can make it look very old fashioned, but she also can be very well blended with the newer sculpts. So depending on how you do the face up, so I like that about Steffi too. Let's see. Florida Fox said, look on your Instagram. Mandy said, yes, you had a lot of room. Yeah, and I got spoiled by all of that space. For real, I'm not lying. Janine said the mid-Atlantic states have pretty good weather, usually avoid most dangerous storms, or it's less severe. That's another thing about Carolina that's a little bit scary. Like, every year is a freaking hurricane watch. Like, every year. Like, people are so used to the hurricane scares there that it's like a routine, just going and stocking up on batteries and flashlights and generators and freaking canned food, and having a place to run to for shelter if they have to evacuate. Like, that's just part of your life down there, especially in the coastal region where we lived. It's just part of everyday life. Every time when the season happens, you better be ready. You better be ready, because you might be gone from your house for a couple of weeks. Oh, goodness. Look at this. I see you, Florida. I see you. Bye, Mix. Don't fart, Barbie. Yeah, but out here, I mean, I don't know if it's better. I think it's just better for us as far as our lifestyle. If I could bring that house with me out here, it would be the perfect combination as far as, like, everything I want to do. But we'll get there. The blonde one looks drunk. The other one looks like she don't want to be there. Which one? The blonde one? This one? She looked tipsy. She looked like, guys, oh shoot, guys, hold on, my shoes fell off. I gotta put my shoes on. Guys, don't leave without me. Poor baby. She be alright. She the friend that everybody brings along because she got the most money to spend. She's blowing through the money. And so when they need to, like, you know, the cover charge, if they can't talk the bouncer into just letting them in because I have boobs, so I should be able to get in for free, then that's when homegirl whips out the purse, whips out the wallet. She's like, guys, don't worry, I got it, guys. I got you. Here, how much you need? Here's a tip, bouncer. Thank you. Okay, that's great. Yeah, they're with me. Okay, come on, guys, let's go. That's why she gets to be in the crowd, because she's the designated money spender. Let's see. I wasn't tested for autism in the past as a toddler. Oh, I was tested for autism in the past as a toddler. I don't think I was on the spectrum. However, I was put into IEP classes due to not talking. But I don't know. I think I do need another test. Yo, why did they test you, though? What made them test you? Because it must have been something you were doing that was making them concerned or wondering about whether or not you could have autism. And the other thing, too, is that Asperger's syndrome specifically is a lot harder to detect in female children because it doesn't present the same way that boys present, and people are so used to creating the diagnosis based on boys because they present in a more obvious way that when girls are being put up to that test, we don't fit the mold. So they'll misdiagnose and be like, no, she doesn't have, she's just eccentric. She's just really smart. Like, they'll miss it because females are better at adapting. They're better at kind of like figuring out social cues. So even though we don't always get it, we don't get the social cue, like, why do people do this? We don't get it. But we'll go along with it. We'll go through the motions. We'll try to blend ourselves in so nobody suspects that something is different about us. We'll hide it a lot sooner and a lot better than the boys do. So it kind of just slides under the radar. So if whoever was testing you then didn't have this information, then I can see how they would have missed it if you did have any of the traits, because especially if you have Asperger's, because Asperger's, when they're testing you for autism, they're not testing you for Asperger's. They're testing you for specifically autistic traits. And those present way more obviously than Aspie traits, you see? So, it wouldn't be surprising if they just misdiagnosed, or like didn't catch it when you were little, because you're a toddler. Like, you can only articulate yourself, but to a degree. You can't really say everything that's on your mind when you're a baby. But when you're older, you can explain, you can really like articulate yourself when you're being evaluated, right? So that may make a difference in whether or not you got the proper diagnosis, because I feel like with Asperger's, that's hard to detect even on boys when they're very young, unless it's super obvious and unless the specialist knows what they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? They know what to look for. Mandy said, I'll message you. I'm glad I caught you live. Yeah, I'm glad too, because I was just thinking about like yesterday or the day before. Don't understand. It's really uncanny. This week, I was just thinking about you, and I can't remember why. I don't know what I was thinking about that reminded me of you, but just something popped into my head, and I was like, what is Mandy up to these days? So yeah, catch me on IG. Galaxy Dolls. If you are looking for more Barbies with unique sculpts, I recommend 2000... Alice in Wonderland or Little Red Right. Galaxy Dolls, can I tell you something? Can I please tell you something? Okay. Great minds think alike. Because guess what? Little Red Riding Hood Alice is on my Grail sculpt list right now in my little inventory book. Thank you very much. I'm on it. I love that doll. They have their very own face sculpt, and Mattel never uses it now. Yeah, you're right, and it's such a shame. That's why some of those, like this one, Odile, her sculpt, this sculpt was on my Grail list. As soon as I saw Flight of Fashion, I was like, oh my god, that's such a cute little sculpt. Never seen anything like it. Thank goodness that a few years after that doll was released, now they have this Odile sculpt reused on this holiday doll. It's still hard to get. It's still hard to find, even though it's a new doll, and it shouldn't be, but I mean, I needed the sculpt in my life, so I feel you on that one. Alice is on my list for sure. I just haven't come across a listing where I feel comfortable with the price, so I haven't bought one yet, but she's super on my radar. Janine said, my mom said I talked very early, so did I, but suddenly stopped. And you know what I used to do? I talked really early, I did, but before I could talk, I was already singing. And when I was in Korea, when I was a baby, that's when I learned to talk. I memorized all the lyrics of songs that I would hear on TV, and I would be singing along with it all the time. And I remember, I have memories of myself like shaking my little booty and getting so excited when I would hear music, and like tinkering around with the piano in my grandmom's house. It's no surprise, I guess, that I turned into an actual musician later when I grew up, but like my first communication was singing, and then I started to talk. And Korean was my first language. Obviously, I lived in Korea when I was learning to speak, but I know I could understand my dad. My dad spoke English to us, and we went to school where everything was in English, so we were bilingual. But like, I just remember thinking in song for a long time. She got scared and ran to get me tested. They basically said I was super smart but wasn't talking for whatever reason. I'll have to ask my mom because my memory is vague on the details. I was only in IEP from preschool to 2nd grade. Do you remember why you weren't talking? I wonder. My son did the same thing. Not that he was talking then he stopped, but my son, who is diagnosed with autism, he's also like Aspie end of the spectrum. He was not speaking in full sentences for quite some time. I just thought he couldn't talk, like not yet, because he was hearing multiple languages at home. So it didn't bother me that he couldn't talk. I didn't think it was strange at all, because I knew he could understand me. And I was speaking a lot of Korean to Jinu at home, so he could understand me just fine. And also, some of the words he used to use was in Korean. So English speakers thought he couldn't talk or he didn't know how to say words, but he could. He just didn't use English. But but he didn't use full sentences for a long time. And then one day we were doing something at a park, and I was trying to get Gino to like climb up a set of monkey bars, but he was getting nervous. He was scared and he didn't want to go up them. And I was saying to him, "It's okay, I got you, mommy's here, come on, let's go, I'm gonna help you." But he was so afraid to take another step that he refused to move. So I kept trying to like coax him to do it. Finally, because I was not getting the hint, I was not leaving him alone. He got so frustrated that he literally looked at me and said, "Amma," which means mom in Korean. "Amma, I don't want to climb this thing. I want to go home and ride my bike in the yard." He like a full like 3 sentences he said to me. I was shocked. I was so shocked that I called Adonis, who I was just dating at the time, immediately and was like, "Did you know that Gino said blah, 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 blah to me? I didn't know he could talk." And he was like, "I told you your kid is a genius. Like, why didn't you believe me?" I'm like, "Wait, what? You heard him talk before?" He was like, "No, he just moved like somebody who's way older than he is." And this is back when he was like 3 or 4. So I realized later when I started to learn more about autism that he always could talk, but he just didn't because he didn't need to. He didn't want to. He didn't feel like verbally communicating what he wanted to say. He would just do it with body language, noises, facial expressions. That's how he would communicate with everybody. So, like, we all kind of knew what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? But I just looked at it like, oh, he's just a baby. He doesn't know. He doesn't know he's supposed to be saying these words yet. But that was the Aspie traits. That was basically like making it. It's kind of like this. Like people with Asperger's, like they're very logical thinkers. So if I don't have to do something this way, why would I do it that way? If I have some other way to do it, why would I not just do it that way if it's easier for me? So a lot of people that have autism and Asperger's, they can speak, but they just don't because why? Why do I need to exert extra energy forming these words because you want me to? I don't feel like doing it. You know I'm hungry. I texted you, right? I made this gesture. You know what I want. So, like, what do I need to keep talking to you for? It's a waste of everybody's energy and time. Some of them feel like that, and so that's why they don't talk. It's not because they can't. It's just they choose not to talk. And also, I think some people that have, I was listening to an interview, not an interview, I was listening to a vlog, actually, of this girl who had autism, who was diagnosed with autism. In the vlog, she was an older teenager, and she was talking about her experience when she was a little bit younger, and she said she was nonverbal. She just didn't talk at all, like a mute, right? But she made a lot of noises, and she said she used to like rock back and forth all the time, just making a lot of sounds. And so her family was, of course, concerned because they thought something was wrong with her. But she was actually explaining in her own words what was going on in her head at that time. And she was like, there was so much stimulus around me that I didn't like, that I was distracted by, that I couldn't stand, that on purpose I wouldn't talk. I would just make a bunch of noises and sounds and rock back and forth because that was how I would soothe myself. And that was my way of stimming. And stimming is just a term that people with autism use to it's a shortened term for self-stimulating. So like you're trying to distract yourself from whatever it is that's bothering you because you have a lot of sensory issues. And she was just saying like that was her way of doing that. So she would block out all the extra sounds and noises and stuff that was going on around her by creating her own noises so that she wouldn't have to be so distracted by that stuff because it's almost like unbearable. Like the noises and the sounds and the smells and the colors and whatever it is that you're just, I guess, I don't know how else to put it, but to say you're allergic to it, if that's even possible, like mentally allergic to something, but like that's how all the extra stimuli can feel sometimes. So she was saying that that was how she would distract herself by making sounds and rocking back and forth, and other people, of course, was very uncomfortable because they're like, what's wrong with her? Is she okay? What's wrong? Just tell us what you want, right? But that was how she would cope with that situation. And of course, because she was much younger then, in her mind, this is more effective than speaking and saying things to convey my thoughts and feelings to people, because I don't want to do that. I don't feel like doing that. I don't want to add to the noise around me by talking. So, like, that was her mindset. I thought that was so mind boggling as I was listening to her explain that, but it made so much sense. And I was like, yeah, I get you. I get it. I totally get it, you know? And I remember hearing that story. I think I heard that before I got my diagnosis. And I could so relate. I was like, yeah, I totally know what you're talking about. Because for me, it wasn't that I wasn't verbal as a kid. I was like probably too talkative. But I was only talkative about things I was interested in, like dolls, for example, right? I can go on and on and on and on about dolls and lose track of time. But if you ask me about math, I'm going to be like, I don't know. My personality goes right out the window. 7 plus what now? 2 times who? Like, I don't know. I'm not interested. I want to take a nap. That's how I feel, you know? Just lose all the life in your personality. So I don't know. It's like it really comes out differently in each person, and that's why it's a spectrum, because I can't really test you next to another person that's got a different presentation of these traits, even though we all kind of have the same thing. Like, all of us might have sensory issues, but for you it might be sounds, for me it might be smells, for the next person it could be textures, for another person it could be light, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's all sensory related, so that's how you know. It kind of goes into the same bubble almost. I'm too into the Alice. I literally own 3 of her now. Galaxy dolls. Why you gotta make me so jealous? Why you trying to make me jealous? Why you gonna make me cry? Why are you trying to make me depressed? Why are you trying to make me want to go hide in a cave and never come back out again? Because you done hogged up whole 3 Alices and I'm over here trying to find me one. Why you got to do that to me? Why you want to break my heart, Bo? Just tell me why. Just tell me, because I just want to know why. Why you want to do that to me? Please tell me why. Florida Fox said, does Vera Wang have the best hair? Honestly, I'm not being biased, because you know how I is. Honestly, all right? Do she got the best hair? Honestly, I'm going to have to say, yeah, she does. She does. This hair and this hair is very similar. And if you have this doll, you know this hair is amazing. Amazing, amazing quality sleekness. Very easy to detangle. It has weight to it. It's not going to just fly up in the air on you. And this hair is like identical. This hair fiber feels a little bit thicker, but I'm not sure if I'm imagining it because maybe they rooted more hair into this doll in general, or because the fiber is actually thicker. I'm not sure. It could be exactly the same kind of fiber, but it moves the same way. It feels very similar, and it sits the same way. And her hair is like the standard to me. This is the top-notch Saran hair, and no complaints at all about this hair. Her hair is the same, so I would say yes. I would say that her hair is really good quality. Janine said, I cannot tell you why, but based on my memories as a toddler, I think I was just a very observant visual person, and I was too. I relate to that. I was just too busy learning, and I'm actually introverted too. That's another one too. When I got my diagnosis, they do a lot of different tests on you. One of them is a personality test, and they were trying to determine whether I was an extrovert or an introvert. Now, I'm an outgoing person. I just assumed that means that I'm an extrovert. But when I took the test, it showed that I was an introvert, and I was surprised. And I was like, well, why is that? Right? How is that accurate? How can that be possible? As I was talking to the specialist who was analyzing everything, and she was asking me some questions, and then I realized why I'm actually an introvert, because I actually prefer to not be around a whole lot of people. Like, I can tolerate being around people, but they actually drain and exhaust my energy, and then I just like will retreat and just be like having to decompress from everyone by myself. But when I'm with a smaller group of people, it's not so much the quantity. I think it's the quality of the people who I am engaging with that I really like. Like, for example, like these lives, the average YouTuber is not gonna sit around for 2 hours talking to people when there's like less than like 500 people in your room. You know what I'm saying? They're just not gonna do that because they're trying to make money. They're trying to get clout. They're trying to grow their channels. They're trying to be big. They're trying to have a name. They're trying to, and in trying to do those things, it works against you if you don't have a big quantity of people talking to you, right? Or listening to whatever you're talking about. But I'm the opposite. I'd rather talk to a smaller group of people and have an actual engaging conversation. That's probably why a lot of, even though these lives are long as hell, a lot of people like watching them afterwards because I'm responding to the things you guys are saying. Y'all are actually adding value to the conversation. You're not just like, huh, she's cute. I like that doll. Yay, Barbie. Like, it's not a superficial conversation we're having. So it's like as if we were all just hanging out for real, like in real life. The things that I would be saying to my friends, I'm just telling you guys, you know? I'm being myself with you, basically. So you can't always be yourself when you're around big crowds of people because everyone has different standards. Everyone has social expectations of you, and you have to meet them, or at least it feels like you have to meet them. So the pressure makes it very difficult for you to be yourself around those people. You're like kind of being fake. You're not really being yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want people to judge you, I guess. But in everyday society, neurotypicals created the world that we live in. They made it like this. They made it like it's okay to just be judging each other based on social cues and norms that people have put into place. And they're comfortable doing that stuff, I guess. But I'm uncomfortable with that, you know? I'll go through the motions, but it's not real. It's not my real feelings that you're seeing. So for me, it's a better interaction when I have less people that I'm dealing with at a time, and then I can just one-on-one engage with them and really soak in, observe the nuances in that person's personality and appreciate them for who they are. Like, for example, like you, Janine, like from the beginning, I feel like you were following this channel since you were a teenager, and way back then, we could tell, me and Adonis both, when we hear you talk, like we could tell you're very intelligent, you're very smart, very out of the box thinker, and we appreciated that about you. It wasn't weird to us. We weren't like, what's wrong with this kid? Why does she know so much about this adult stuff? No, we were impressed. We were like, wow, she's real smart, right? So the fact that I can appreciate that about a person, I think that's like a reflection of how I engage with people and minds. Oh, okay, no problem. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I would say I have a lot in common with the way that you're explaining how you think. Like, that's why, like, the stuff you be saying, I was like, are you living in my brain or something? I also rock, but I do it because I was adopted and my birth mother never rocked me, so I had to rock myself. Yeah, my daughter does the same thing. I can't sit still. Janine said I hate math. Galaxy, I'm jealous of that holiday Barbie you have. She's really pretty, and I'm a sucker for redheads. Me too. I love me some redheads. A limited edition 18-inch Alex designed by Mary Blair. Interesting. Florida Fox. Janine said, I've been depressed, missing out on the holiday doll. I know. She's amazing. She's amazing. The way my stores have not had her yet, but they have the rest light come on now. I was also thinking of getting Tooth Fairy Barbie till I heard about the hair. Yeah, I don't know. Ugh, I sent mine back, and I don't regret it. I don't feel like I missed anything. Okay, so I really enjoyed this conversation with you guys. I do have to go, though, because I'm so over my time, and I'm holding Adonis's phone hostage, and he needs it for work. So I gotta go. I really appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out in part 2, because it's like accidental part 2. And catch me on Instagram at Broken Dolly TV. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. My name's Gypsy. If you're new here, if this is the first time you're hearing my voice, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone. Have a dolly day.